What's up, everybody? Ray Davenport, your Director of Athletics here. And today what I'd like to do is take you through one of my favorite core routines. We've done this in a couple classes now. It'll be 8 movements, circuits of 4. We'll do a set number of reps, usually 8 to 12 per side. Now, I'm only going to go through one round of each circuit, but you can certainly rewind or replay and go through 2 up to 4 rounds of these exercises to get a really good 20 to 30 minute workout in and leave your core feeling really strong and engaged. Now, for the workout, you're going to want a small hand weight potentially for one of the exercises, and either a foam roller or a mat, a block, anything that we can elevate our feet is also going to be an option for one of the exercises. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. So make your way down to your mat, and what we're going to do is come into our flat position. I do want to take you through a series of movements just to make sure we're warmed up and ready to go before we get into the harder movements. The first one is our pelvic tilt. Now, if you've watched the morning routines, this is almost always included, and we do this before every class that I teach as far as core is concerned. We are just tilting our pelvis in a manner that creates space as we inhale between our floor and the low back, and then we pull that back into the floor, pulling our belly button down, engaging the abs, okay, with our exhale. Inhale and back down. For those that want to make this a little bit tougher and test your control of your pelvis, you can take those arms up overhead and perform the same movement. Now, it should feel a lot tougher as you pull back into that neutral pelvic position. Anywhere from 8 to 20 repetitions is great here. And when you're ready, you can move on to the next movement, which is just going to be a cross crawl pattern. We're going to take the opposite arm and leg, so in this case, right arm, left leg, bring them up together, trying to synchronize the movement so that they get to end range together and get back to the start position together. Okay, so syncing up, that cross-body connection. Inhale long, exhale back to start, okay? Same thing, anywhere from 6 to 12 reps per side will be perfect. And relaxing down, okay? So the first exercise that we've got today is a dead bug with the shoulder turn. Now, I'm going to use my weight for this one, but don't feel like you have to. We're going to find our dead bug position first. Knees stacked directly over the hips. Shins are parallel to the floor. Feet are flexed. We don't want to leave them just relaxed. Okay, keep them engaged. Back is pulled flat in, belly button is down. We're going to take those arms straight up from the shoulder. Make sure that they're not over your eyes, straight up from the chest. And then we're going to rotate, keeping our hips on the ground the whole time. So as these arms go out wide, that hip is going to want to rotate off the ground, but we're trying to keep it flat, okay? So stay with me here. This is 4. We're going to see if we can't do 16 repetitions total, 8 in each direction. That's 7. Making sure to breathe. Inhale out. 10. 4 more. 3. 2. Last one. And back to center. Okay, should really feel that working in your obliques. Again, just really focus on keeping those hips stationary the whole time. Next exercise up, and taking 10 to 15 seconds between each exercise, is our bicycle. 3 ways that you can do these, right? First one is knees up, pedaling, arms are at the side. So we just pedal that bike, keeping that back flat. The higher we go, the easier it is to maintain this position. As we get lower, it's much more difficult. From here, level 2 would be head up, shoulders off the ground, still pedaling. Level 3 is giving me a little rotation. Okay, I'm going to do 15 to 20 in each direction. Okay, so hanging in there, making sure to breathe, picking the variation, the progression that works for you, and staying nice and controlled in your movements. And relaxing down. That's a really good one and really tough. Again, make sure that you find the version that works for you and doesn't create any undue strain. All right, so the next exercise up is a reverse crunch. We're gonna lay flat on our back, arms at the side to give us a little bit of support. We're only gonna do 8 of these because they can be pretty challenging. Feet are flat. We're gonna bring those knees up overhead and then control that lowering down back to the ground. That's where it's really tough. That's what we wanna focus on. Control back slowly to the ground, okay? We're using gravity to challenge our core's ability not to just drop into extension, okay? So still keeping that neutral pelvis. For those that need something tougher, you can actually push those feet up towards the ceiling as we lift up and then control back down, okay? One more and control back down. Careful with those. Remember, the purpose is to engage the front side of the trunk in a safe manner. All right, and the last exercise for this circuit is our bridge with extension. Now I'm going to be using a foam roller that is a little more challenging, but similar to being on flat ground. And what we're going to do, you can have arms out for support or you can cross them at the shoulder if you're feeling nice and balanced. And we're going to extend one leg out, keeping the knees in line, and then pull it back in. Now, I'm trying to keep my hips as level as possible and really keep the force into my heels. If I need a little bit of extra balance here, because it is pretty tough, arms come back down to the side. Try not to rotate the hips as you extend out. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more per leg. And last one. That's pretty tough. Go ahead and relax down. So that wraps up circuit number 1. Again, repeat that 2 to 3 more times, see how you feel, and then get ready, get some water before we start our second circuit. All right, to kick off circuit number 2, we're going to start with a bird dog, and I'm going to give you an advanced progression of a bird dog that's going to be pretty tough, just something that you can do that's going to work the stability the same way as a bird dog might. Bird dog is all fours, knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders, fingers spread wide, and we're just going to extend across the body. Okay, so that is level 1. Again, 8 to 12 reps per side. Level 2, and a movement that I personally love for core stability, is an around the world leopard pose. So knees lift from that same quadruped position. And then I'm just going to lift one limb at a time, going all the way around and making sure to breathe. Now, if it feels tough, that's because it is. We're going to shoot for 4 full rotations in each direction. Now, as you're going around, make sure to, or ways that you can make this a little bit easier, is to bring the hands in a little bit and bring the feet wide. Okay, so we're just creating a little bit of support, offsetting those points of contact with the ground, and relaxing down. Okay, we'll do the other direction in round 2. Windshield wipers are up next. So coming back onto our back, again, taking that 10 to 15 seconds between movements. Knees are over the hips. Okay, notice the theme here. Hands are going to be out to the side, and we're just going to allow the knees to drop out to the side and then pull back to center. Now be very careful with your range of motion here. Only go as far as your core will control, and you can keep those shoulders flat on the mat. Okay, back should stay flat as the hip lifts, and then we pull back with our trunk muscles. Okay, performing again 8 to 12 per side. Now our third exercise in circuit number 2 is the alternating V-up. These are going to be pretty tough, and I'm going to give you a couple ways that you can do them. So the first way is we can just bring the leg and the arm up and together, cross-body connection here, right arm, left leg. Okay, alternating sides as we do that. Head can come off the ground or it can stay put, whatever works for you. Now the other way that we can do it, and this is kind of an in-between, so this is working your way up, is you can use your off arm for support as we bring both up together and then come back down, okay? Off arm for support, up together, come back down. Really focusing on control, not just throwing our limbs up there together. and relaxing down. Again, 8 to 12 per side is going to be plenty. Picking the progression that challenges you the most in those positions is going to be key. So if you get to a point where you're doing 15 per side, no problem, then yeah, we can go to more of a full alternating V up, which is just one arm, one leg, no support, okay? So the final exercise, a lot of you have probably seen if you've been to any of my classes or worked with me in a personal training setting, and it's for that hip stability. It's the side plank. Now there are, again, a lot of variations of this. The one I'm going to show you today is with the leg lift. We're just driving that bottom hip up, making sure that our elbow, hip, and knee are in line, and then we're going to lift that top leg. We're going to shoot for 8 to 12 reps per side before we switch. And just make sure to breathe as you do these. Now, you can do them from different positions, so if I switch over to the other side, I can show you kind of an advanced level position is we can come up into a full straight arm side plank, lifting the hips up, staying balanced, and lifting that leg. Okay, now this creates a lot of extra rotational forces that I then have to be able to stabilize and relaxing down. Now when performing these circuits, you can do them for repetitions, either 8 to 12 per side is a good standard, or 40 seconds on, 10 to 15 seconds off, so that you have time to transition between the movements. Again, take a little bit of extra time between sets, so you do exercises 1 through 4, take 30 seconds to 90 seconds, whatever you need to get some energy back into your trunk and have control going into the next set. So that's a wonderful example of what we do in Core 30 class on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9:30 to 10 o'clock. If you have any trouble with pelvic control, pelvic stability, hip control, this class is going to be wonderful for you, and this workout should provide you with a pretty good idea of some movements that you can do to improve that core strength and stability. As always, if you have any questions about any of those exercises or ways that we can make them work for you, wherever you're at in your fitness journey, just let me know. I'm here to help you get fit and stay fit.